In a convenience store, there were some thugs who came. They took some food and drinks, but they didn't want to pay. One of the thugs asked the shopkeeper to give him all the money. At first, the man refused, but since he was afraid of the thugs, he finally gave the money in the cash machine. Soon, a girl named Akju came to buy a snack. She asked for change, but she saw the money in the thug's bag. Akju took the money and quickly beat him up. Seeing that, the other thugs tried to fight Akju, but Akju easily defeated them. At a ballet show, there was a ballerina who looked nervous. She was dancing but unfocused. Not long after, she fell down. She was lost in thought about a man who sat in the audience. That night, Akju couldn't sleep. Suddenly, her friend named Ballerina called her. She asked Akju to come to her house immediately. Hearing Ballerina's distressed voice, Akju left immediately. When she arrived at Ballerina's house, Akju knocked on the door, but Ballerina didn't open the door. Luckily, Akju knew Ballerina's password. She then entered and looked for Ballerina's whereabouts. While in Ballerina's room, Akju saw a box containing Ballerina's ballet shoes. Akju picks it up. She found a paper that said Ballerina asked Akju to avenge her and a username for Akju to investigate. In addition, Ballerina wrote that Akju was a strong person, so Ballerina chose her. Seeing her friend's message, Akju panicked. She immediately looked for Ballerina in the rooms of her house. What was Akju's surprise to see Ballerina in the bathtub bleeding and dead. Then Akju remembered her beautiful moments with Ballerina, whose real name was Minhee. They met at the bakery where Minhee worked. He immediately recognized Akju, who turned out to be a junior high school friend. After that, they got closer until Minhee introduced herself as a ballerina and Akju as a guard. Shortly after Akju remembered about them, Akju went home. She looked up the username on Minhee's letter, but she only found a social media account that offered sushi, so she messaged the owner of the account. She pretended to order sushi. Surprisingly, the sushi order could only be paid through Bitcoin. Knowing that Akju felt something was wrong with the account owner, then suddenly Minhee's phone rang. Akju picked it up but didn't say anything. She only heard a man who was angry because Minhee didn't respond to him. The man told Minhee to come to a place tomorrow. He warned that if Minhee didn't come, he would share something that would embarrass Minhee's family. Hearing all of this made Akju understand Minhee's suffering. The next day, Akju went to the location the man mentioned before. Akju saw a man with long hair making a transaction with another person. Akju also saw that the buyer took a small package inside the sushi and threw the sushi away. Akju knew that the man sold drugs. But one thing that confused Akju was that Minhee wasn't an addict. So Akju thought that drugs weren't the thing that made Minhee suicide. Then Akju decided to follow the man until Akju arrived near his house. The next morning, Akju looked around the man's house. Akju knew that the man left in his luxury car. Then Akju secretly barged in by unlocking the door to his house. Akju installed several sound surveillance tools. Akju then found a cupboard that contained a whipping or binding instrument for the man's sexual gratification. Akju then found many flash disks neatly arranged with names on the end. Akju was surprised to see Minhee's name there. Akju quickly opened the contents of the flash disk, which turned out to have Minhee in the video. Seeing that, Akju felt terrible. She felt how upset Minhee was. The next day, Akju heard that a long-haired man by the name of Choi was talking to his friend. Akju heard him through the sound surveillance tools that she installed. Akju heard his plan to visit the club and find some women for his next target. Based on this information, Akju came up with a plan to trap Choi. Akju then went to Minhee's house. She took Minhee's clothes to make her look sexy and attractive. Akju arrived at Choi's destination club. She watched Choi from afar, until Akju caught Choi's attention. Choi seduced Akju. Then he invited her to his favorite hotel. Once at the hotel, Choi got Akju drunk. After seeing Akju laid out limp, he dressed up as an executioner. He then filmed Akju while caressing her. But Akju didn't get drunk. She suddenly woke up and attacked Choi. Akju also took a knife to fight with Choi. Soon Akju managed to cut Choi's mouth open. Just as Okju was about to kill Choi, the hotel guard arrived. He shot at Okju, who tried to escape. Then Okju saw another man carrying a chainsaw. The man wanted to kill her. But suddenly a woman opened one of the doors that caused the man to injure his own leg. Seeing that, Okju panicked. Then the woman who saved Okju took her away from the hotel. They left in Choi's Lamborghini car. Arriving at the restaurant, Okju is informed by the woman who saved her. She told Okju that Choi has filmed many similar videos of hundreds of women and threatened them to do his bidding. This led Okju to kill Choi immediately. The next morning, Choi was in the hospital. He got a few stitches in his mouth. Besides Choi, there was also his gang leader. The man expressed his disappointment to Choi for losing against a woman. Then he gave Choi 3 days to get Okju back. Choi immediately wanted to find Okju, but he decided to see his pharmacist friend. Choi told him to kill Okju in exchange for 100 million won. The next day, Okju went to see her senior at the firm. Okju told her that she needed an illegal gun to avenge Minhee. Then Okju's senior gave her information about the illegal gun. Okju then met an elderly couple who sold illegal guns. Okju gave them money so she could get the gun she wanted. But it turned out that they only had a few old pistols that Okju didn't like. Seeing that, Okju finally picked out the good guns. Later that night, Okju cleaned the gun and tried it out. Elsewhere, Choi and Myung-shik tried to find out Okju's whereabouts through her stolen Lamborghini car. Meanwhile, Okju bought some snacks at the supermarket. But when she returned, the girl who helped her escape from the hotel was no longer on Okju's couch. Then Okju looked for her in the room. But Myung-shik suddenly appeared and attacked Okju. Luckily, Okju escaped through the window. 3 days passed, but Choi still didn't get Okju. Then he went to see his boss. Choi told him that he killed Okju and buried her. After his boss left, Choi interrogated the high school girl who took Okju away from the hotel. Choi asked about Okju's whereabouts, but the girl didn't answer a thing. This made Choi upset and wanted to torture the girl. Meanwhile, Okju went to Choi's favorite hotel. She pointed a gun at the man who carried a chainsaw last time. Seeing Okju with a gun, the man immediately told Choi's headquarters. Hearing that, Okju felt quite relieved and killed him. Okju quickly went to Choi's headquarters. She entered without disguise. She even took the same elevator as Choi's boss's men. Once inside the headquarters, Okju saw the marijuana cultivation site. She also saw Choi's friends grow the plants. Then Okju asked about the whereabouts of the high school girl that Choi kidnapped. Choi's boss arrived before anyone could answer. He wanted to negotiate with Okju, but Okju didn't want to talk to him. She shot the man dead in the head. Seeing that, his men tried to kill Okju. Luckily, Okju survived. She then asked one of the remaining men about Choi's whereabouts. After she got the answer, Okju immediately killed him. Okju rushed toward Choi and Myung-shik. Okju immediately focused on the helpless high school girl. Okju wanted to shoot Myung-shik, but suddenly someone shot Okju's left arm. It turned out to be Choi who was hiding. When she saw Okju was hurt, the girl shot Choi. But before that, Choi shot Myung-shik to death. He didn't want to give the money he promised, even though Myung-shik helped him catch Okju. Okju thought it was a good opportunity to make Choi powerless. After making Choi weak, Okju took him somewhere. Then Okju arrived at the beach. She left Choi crawling to the shore. He begged Okju for forgiveness. He even agreed to be imprisoned as long as he wasn't killed, but Okju was determined to kill Choi. Then, with a sense of vengeance, Okju felt there was nothing fairer than Choi's death. Feeling unforgiven by Okju, Choi talked nonsense. He said that he'll do the same thing when he's in hell. This did not faze Okju. Instead, she replied that she would finish him off in hell. Okju then burned Choi with a gun she bought from an elderly couple. The next day, Okju came to Choi's house. She took the flash discs in Choi's cupboard. Then she burned them along with Choi's car on the beach. Okju was glad to pay back her best friend and the other girls that Choi had abused.